of my presents from my lovely wife, Debbie, hello Debbie, love you, was a book which was around horror films, because myself and my lovely wife and my great friend Alan, hello Alan, watch horror films on a Saturday night. And often we will source them from various sources. We might buy them, we might look on Prime or Netflix, and we will generally scroll on Prime and think, I'm not sure about that, let's leave. And I'm always thinking, maybe they're better than we think. Now, this book, which is a simple, no-frills book by N.A. Parry, 200 horror films you may not have seen, shows some of the movies that he has picked or she has picked. I don't know if it's a she or a he. I don't know. I could check it. I can't be bothered. So, he or she has picked 200 movies that you may have missed. Oh, windy pops, excuse me. Some of those you will have seen. There are a few, but the majority of those films, I think I've either heard of this, not seen it, and one of those was one that we've been scrolling past on Prime for quite some time. It's called The Afflicted. It's not called The Afflicted. It's just called Afflicted. It was made 11 years ago. It didn't make its budget back at the box office, and that is a blooming shame, because this movie, which is the directorial debut of Derek Lee and Cliff Prowse, who use their names in the film, is a bit of a gem. Now, it's a found footage movie. Do not groan. It doesn't need to be a found footage movie, this. When we finished, Alan said it didn't need to be found footage, that. I would have been delighted if it wasn't. But found footage is a niche, and so consequently, it's good to do it that way, because if you're making your horror debut or your film debut, a niche is always good to put it somewhere and to get some viewers. Now, sipping my coffee. Very nicely done. I grind my own beans, you know. Yes. They can't touch you for it. Well, they can, but, you know, you only should grind them once a day. That's it. I think there's a law or something. Anyway, the premise is this. Two friends, Cliff, who is a documentary filmmaker, and actually, to start with, is a bit of a prick, because he's so nice and so energetic, is the friend of Derek Lee, who has never been... Well, he's got a bucket list. I hate the phrase bucket list. Really hate it. I really hate all that kind of, you should do all these things before you die. Why? What if I'm in the middle of them before I step out in front of a bus or something? What? I'll just as I'm dying think, my God, I never went to Malaga and pissed down a drain or something like that. I never jumped out of an aeroplane shouting, my God, I'm going to vomit. I don't want to jump out of an aeroplane. What's the point? I've been an actor. That is far more of an adrenaline rush on your first night than anything else ever will be. Now, I've never disarmed a bomb or anything. No, and I wouldn't bother. However, he's got this list of places he wants to see. They have decided that they will go on a year-long jaunt together to different countries. We don't know how they're funding it. That's not important. I did think in my mind, how the hell have they got the money to do this? They're two rich individuals. It might be to do with Cliff's internet and found footage site, uploading podcast thing. So maybe he's got subscribers, and that's how he's going to fund it. However, before they go, Cliff has some kind of, this is a MacGuffin actually. These are all spoiler alerts, ladies and gentlemen, Follocks. Unless you want to watch this, in case you want to watch this, which I heartily recommend, he starts to have really bad headaches, and he has a test done, and he's told that he's still, not still, that's the wrong word, that he has a brain issue, and that may cause him to pass. He refuses all treatment because he wants to go on the trip. So I suppose that what that does is make them push forward that trip and say, well, we do need to have a trip right now, don't we? So They get to Barcelona first. They don't get further than that, folks. And they see a couple of people who they say are rock stars. They're two friends of theirs who are doing a tour in clubs and things in Barcelona. They see well-known people are singing along to their lyrics. They've got a laptop and an acoustic. It's not the kind of thing I'd go to. You're not going to get any confetti cannons or anything on that, or pyro. But probably a good job, really. Anyway, at one of the gigs, Derek, because Cliff is keen to get Derek laid, really, and he does start talking to a woman called Audrey. They stay away that night. They say, we can't go back to the hotel because he'll be getting it on with her. In the morning, they find that he's been attacked in some way. He's got a mark on his arm, and he doesn't go to the hospital or anything. And Audrey's gone. She's left all her clothes there. She's gone. Run away naked, it seems. Then the police are coming. Maybe it's the podcast police. Just a minute. I think they're going. I think I've cheated it again. Anyway, they carry on, and in the morning they move to another place in Barcelona. They go. Are they going to Paris? They're going to Paris. They're going to Barcelona. Is it Paris? Anyway, move to another location. He's very tired. Is Derek. Unnaturally tired, and then he wakes up after sleeping quite long and heartily and needs some food, which he instantly vomits up again, right? Can't eat food, looking quite pasty, starts to blister up when the sun is on him. What do you think that could be, everybody? Yeah, and the whole thing is about, what do we do now? Break into a blood bank. He's got huge power. He can jump up buildings, he can beat people up, and he's got an incredible amount of power. They break into a blood bank. They stop a. They're in Italy by this time. They stop a. Or are they in France? Anyway, doesn't really matter. They stop an ambulance, try to get blood. We want blood. We need blood. And eventually, Derek kills a pig and feeds on that. But he knows he is going to have to try and keep this wish to have blood and fresh blood, because Cliff's with him and he might actually turn on Cliff. Hint, hint. It kind of becomes not about the vampiric situation here. It becomes about Interpol, who are chasing him trying to find Audrey and find a cure. It's less about vampires and more about, it's a thriller. It becomes a thriller. It's really good, Follocks. Really well done. The found footage stuff, they don't make a feature of it, so I didn't think we really needed it because it's really well done. Really well filmed. Small cast. Really well done. Some good locations. Some really good chase sequences with Interpol. I mean, really, although it must have been low budget. It's $315,000, $315,000, and they're Canadian, these two. And some of the deaths are extraordinary. Some of them, they really look good. They're really well done, and it does look like a big budget movie. If you like horror, if you like found footage, if you like vampire movies, this is a fresh, new take. It's great that Derek is really easy to like, even when he is in feral mode. Because it's just a changing thing, and he'll soon be coming back to us showing incredible remorse. Look, really well done, lovely work. Cliff is obviously, he's really puppy doggish and then really concerned for his friend. That's lovely. Really nice characters. Even Audrey. There's nobody to blame, eventually. Nobody to blame. That's the disappointing thing. There is nobody to blame. And also the marvellous thing. It is about the skein of life. And it is about something happening that could change the way things are for you completely. You make a decision and that will change your life completely. And that is the fear. That's the real. It's not the horror of the vampirism. It's not the horror of drinking blood. It's not the horror of killing people, although that's horrific enough. It is the horror of. Now this is completely different. And there was a scene where Derek is telling his family, telling his brother, who tries to find him actually, and meets him, I really can't be near you, can't be around you, I love you dearly. It's the complete change of, now I'm on the run with Interpol behind me, it was bad enough, and now I've got that to contend with. This is an extraordinary situation, and yet I can't see it being, well, this is not going to go on for long, I'm on the run, I'm probably going to get killed, there's an end to it, it's never going to end, is it? So whether they put you in prison or not, you're going to get out, and they'll always be on your tail. They will never let you rest. Never let you rest. That's the extraordinary thing. One decision does all of that. That's the horror of this. This can happen at any time. I mentioned stepping out in front of a bus earlier. Yes, it can leave you in a wheelchair. It could leave you in a coma. It could leave you not being able to do anything that you have done before. If you're driving the bus, it could leave you in a terrible situation, even if it's not your fault. Mentally, you may never come back from that. Change your life completely. It is the changes. It is beautifully done, very warm. You don't get any of that kind of grand guignol stuff. Because it's found footage, it's quite open and flat, and here's a location. But that just really works with this is a normal situation, folks. Only it's not, is it? These are normal people. Only they're not, are they? Define normal, I know that. But these are people we might meet on the street. They're not, are they? There are no cloaks. There's no gothic stuff. There are no churchyards at midnight. There are just people. Because even if you are a vampire, you are a human. Deep in your soul. As Cliff says at one point, Derek is somewhere in there. And he is. And we all are. No matter what we do, no matter what we become. That is the frightening thing here. Have a look at this. Afflicted, it's called. It was made more than 10 years ago. It didn't make that much money. Not an enormous amount of people saw it. Please do have a look at it. It's on Prime. I think you'll have a great time. I know I did. Can't wait to get into this book and find some more crackers. Ta-ta.